Here we are again. I know, yes, y'all reading that title correctly. I do have a story time for you guys today. And when this originally happened, I was a junior in high school and I told this story amongst all of this going on. So I was so heated in the moment. There was so much drama surrounding this story in my hometown. With me only being a junior in high school, I was not of age just yet. So there were some things that I left out just because, for one, I didn't want my mama to know. For two, I just felt like that wasn't something that I could actually discuss on YouTube. I already felt like I had to kind of teeter-totter around the fact that I was under the age and I was consuming, we're gonna call it marriage hoochie. I want to get flagged, I ain't gonna lie. I just wanted to keep it cool. But now that I am finally of age, my emotions and stuff finally have simmered down. This story time is something that I've been wanting to tell you guys for so long. I've told this story to almost all of my friends, and every single time I do, they always tell me like, this is something that you need to tell YouTube. Like, you need to go back on YouTube and you need to retell this story, but include the details that you left out, because that's like, it's so important. If you try to go and reference the previous video when I made this story time years ago, you won't be able to find it because it's no longer on my channel, but that's perfectly fine. That's why we're sitting down today, because we are going to really get into it. This is the perfect time for me to get into today's sponsor, which is growth therapy. It is absolutely no secret on this channel that I personally have struggled with my own mental health. As a lot of you guys know, a few months ago I did happen to share a very vulnerable story with you guys about how I personally had to check myself into a mental institution, which is exactly why I was so excited that growth therapy reached out to be partnering with me on this video. Growth therapy is a mental health platform. They make sure to connect you with licensed, highly sought out therapists all across the US, and they happen to offer in-person as well as virtual sessions. As someone who's a part of the Black community, I know how touchy the topic of therapy is for us, as we are a community that typically does not believe in it due to so many different barriers like high cost, long wait lists, cultural mismatches, and sometimes it's just hard to find providers that will take your insurance. But however, growth therapy's mission is to make all of that easier, because you have the opportunity to cipher through all the different therapists on their platform by using filters like race, sex, language, and treatment plans. Because in growth therapy, one size doesn't fit all. Everyone that's taken that big leap of faith to get into some sort of therapy should have the opportunity to become with who they are connecting with. They do accept over 50 insurance plans, and in some states they even accept Medicaid. For one average session, it will run you about $21, but some people have the opportunity of paying as little as $0, just depending on your plan. So what are you waiting on? Growth therapy is making it easier so that you can no longer use the fact that there are so many different barriers as an excuse to why you haven't gotten your therapy journey started. I really am grateful that growth therapy is committed to making their care affordable, accessible, and personalized. If growth therapy sounds like something you're interested in, make sure you click my link in the description right down below, or you can scan my lovely QR code, which will be featured up here, and get your growth therapy journey started today. I got on my chick. I got plenty of time today, y'all. I had to go get my charger because I literally went in and made so many bullet points of things that I just missed in the previous story time, but also all the things that just led up to it, because I think that that is so important. I know I said I wasn't gonna ramble, but hey, calm down. It's okay. It's okay. They literally have this sibling relationship. It's like they love each other until they get on each other's nerves, and then they get a little nitpicky with each other. Although I will be using code names for all the people in this story, I do want to let it be known that I don't have any bad blood with any of these people that are in this story at this given point in time. And hopefully y'all don't take offense to the things that I'm saying, because at the end of the day, these are things that I experience in my everyday today life, and I have a right to tell my story. The two main characters in this story, we're going to name them Janae and Lena. No, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna do Taja and Lena. Taja and Lena. Perfect names for this story. Very easy to keep up with. So originally, me and Taja had met in middle school. I just want to state, when I first got to this middle school, I was the new incoming girl to the school. And you guys know, if you've been the new girl to a new school, you already know how that goes. You already know that you're gonna have an influx of girls that just don't like you for no reason, and then you're gonna have a bunch of people that love you. Like, it's really no in between. And it just so happened that Taja and Lena were a part of the group of girls that did not like me. Mind you, upon me entering this middle school, I never had conversations with Taja and Lena ever. Like, I would see them, I would smile at them. Sometimes they smiled back at me, sometimes they wouldn't. But ultimately, for the most part, I kind of knew that they didn't like me, but they never made it super obvious they didn't like me until all three of us ran on the same track team. But I had noticed during practice there would be plenty of times where they would make smart remarks towards me, or they would make little jokes, and it was kind of like inside jokes that they would have with themselves. But I didn't really take it personal until I started to realize that both of them would literally be on Facebook talking so much mess, subliminally talking about me. And when I mean talking about me, I mean they were talking about the most shallow things that one could possibly talk about. It would be little things like the way I would wear my hair, or the length of my hair, or just nitpicking the things that I felt like made me as a person. Because for me, I feel like I've always been very fluid, I've always been very creative, and I've always been very expressive when it came to my hair, when it came to my nails, when it came to the things that I wore. Even with me wearing uniforms, I still was wearing things to try to curate the things that I actually liked as a person. And although the things that I used to like might not have been trendy to them, and they might not have liked them, I loved them. I felt like they made me happy. Those were the things that I wanted, and those were the things that I liked. Why am I being nitpicked for little things that I personally like? That made no sense to me. So once I really started to catch wind and I realized that they actually did not like me, I think for me, I started to become quite a bit standoffish towards them. And not only was I standoffish towards them because of little things like them nitpicking me, but I also used to think it was so weird that, for one, we all shared a class. We had this day. Hey, no, get off of her. Oh, these damn kids. I want to make sure to specify that I was not in the same grade as Lena and, what did I name her? What did I name her? Taja. I was not in the same grade as them. They actually were a grade above me. So they were 8th graders. We shared the same dance class because we did go to a performing arts magnet school. So I always thought it was really funny to me how they never wanted to talk to me. They always wanted to try to nitpick me. I would see them like making subliminals about me on Facebook, but every time we got into dance class, they would almost always ask me for answers on the exams. Because when we had exams in dance class, not only do we have written exams, but we also had the performative exam. For example, we had a ballet routine at one point in time. And when we had this ballet routine, we also had the exam, which contained plenty of questions just about the history of ballet, where it originated from, who was the first woman ballet dancer, who was the first male ballet dancer. You know, like, it wasn't just a simple dance class, like we just weren't dancing. No, it was 2 different portions to our exams. And almost every single time we had an exam, when it came time to us doing the choreography part of our exams, we had to get in like groups of 4, and they would almost always pick me to be in their group because 9 times out of 10 I knew the routine down pat. And if you have someone in your group that knows the routine, it's like, okay, it's really easy for you to be able to copy them because we all dance at the same time. If there's 4 in a group, all 4 people go at the same time. So that matcha is so good. So overall, these 2 girls really just eluded mean girl energy, and I'm not gonna lie, I was not a fan of them. For me, at that point in time, I felt like I was very vulnerable, and I think that was a point in my life where I wasn't used to experiencing stuff like that. I wasn't used to experiencing people being mean to me. I wasn't used to experiencing people just picking at me for no reason. I kind of would say I felt weak in a sense, so I never really responded. I never really clapped back at either of them. And I really used to turn the other cheek. Now, years down the line throughout this story, y'all gonna see, eventually I put all that shit to an end. But that's only because I started to realize that, you know what, I'm not a nice person. I'm kind, but I'm not nice. And I'm not gonna be performative with you and fake be nice to you if you don't even like me. No, I don't like you either. Moving forward past middle school, I didn't really talk to either party. I didn't talk to Lena. I didn't talk to Taja. Our hometown is only so big, so we would see each other every now and then. But I did not talk to them. Around my freshman year of high school, one of my friends was having a sweet 16 birthday party. And this birthday party was pretty much an open invite to quite a lot of people in the city. Once again, our city's only so small, so it was a possibility that Taja and Lena were going to be at this party. But at this point in time, I don't have no beef with either of them. Like, you both just simply didn't like me, and that really has nothing to do with me. No shade. I was thinking about going to this Sweet 16. Now, I was a little indecisive, but eventually, guess who hits me up? Taja randomly hit me up asking me like, hey girl, like, are you gonna go to that Sweet 16 birthday party? And for me, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of took me by surprise. When I first met Taja and Lena, I actually really liked them. I thought like they were cool girls, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was only until I got a whiff of experiencing their nasty attitudes, which was when I decided I was no longer going to try to befriend them. I'm not. When she hits me up, I am taken by surprise, but you know, I'm like, it's all good, like, we cool. I would absolutely love to go to this party with you, like, let's go. So leading up to this party, me and her are chopping it up. So many things have happened over the span of a year and a half, because I forgot to mention this, but my 7th grade year, I actually got expelled from that middle school. So, you know, she didn't know why I got expelled. So we're just doing a lot of catching up as to like what all happened and like how life's been treating us, and, you know, how am I experiencing the transition from middle school to high school as now a freshman. She was giving me that overprotective sister kind of vibe, and I'm thinking, okay, cool, like, we finna be cool, like, because I'm not gonna lie to y'all, back in middle school, when, like I said, when I first met her, I used to think, I was like, dang, like, I would really like to be friends with her. Nonetheless, we end up going to this party, and when I say we went to the party, we did not go together, no. We both just planned to go, and we just were gonna talk to each other while we were there, you know? As we were at the party, me and her, we kind of like start ducking off away from everybody else, and it's kind of just like me and her, like, we're just talking, and eventually it gets to the point where she is becoming a bit flirtatious. And I feel like back then I wasn't able to pick up on flirting cues if you weren't direct with me, and I feel like that's only because, I ain't gonna lie y'all, I wasn't busted when I was younger. I will say, a bitch like me, I was a little rough looking, I'm not gonna lie. I used to get down and dirty. I used to play with the neighbors that were boys. Like, I used to have so many scuff marks. I literally, hold on, I have one, where is it at? It's somewhere on my knee. I don't think y'all can see it, but I have a boo-boo from when I fell when I was younger. I was riding on a Razor scooter with my homeboys in the neighborhood. Like, I really did not grow up a girly girl. Once I got to like the end of middle school, going up to high school, that's when I really started to become really fluid with creativity and thoroughly expressing myself. But the years prior to that, I was so rough. With me being a little rough, what I'm trying to say is I had to have a bit of a personality on me, which is exactly why I feel like I'm such a bad now, because not only am I a bad bitch looks wise, but I'm also kind of funny, like, you know. When I was younger, I really had to lead the way with my personality, but at this point in time, this is when like I'm really starting to glow up slowly but surely, but I'm not really noticing my potential. You know what I'm saying? It's like everybody else in my hometown is realizing the potential, and they're realizing that like, damn, like this girl, she might actually become big on YouTube someday, but I'm not really seeing it. So like when people are flirting with me, I'm really not understanding. Like, I'm not able to read between the lines unless people are very direct, just because I'm not used to that. I'm used to people just simply wanting to be friends with me. Eventually, girl, it got to the point where she was flirting like real bad. Like, she was on my body. Mind you, we're still at this Sweet 16. Like, we not even here for us. But at this point in time, this is when it really starts to get so messy. So at this point, we're texting every day, we're on FaceTime. Like, mind you, I'm a freshman in high school at this point. So one of my biggest secrets at the time was the fact that I was starting to experience with women, and I had not came out to anyone but her. She was the only person that knew that, and it felt right for me to just be vulnerable with her. I feel like the friendship in itself was kind of just built off of trauma, kind of just built up on me needing a friend, needing to have someone around me to the point where I could be comfortable enough to really be myself and be expressive and not feel judged, because she kind of was in the same boat. It's kind of like, if you've seen me, you've seen her. Like, a lot of people knew that we were hanging out a lot more, and eventually she started experiencing some things with her other friends. Now, the other friends that she hung around, I personally did not like them, and part of the reason why I did not like them was because going back to middle school, Lena and Taja, they were the youngest in their friend group. At the school that we went to, they used to hang out with a group of 2 or 3 other girls that were older than them, but they had graduated at this point in time, or they moved to a different school. I can't really remember, but they didn't go to school there anymore. All of these girls were mean girls. Anybody will tell you that they would be on Facebook talking about any and everybody. And so for me, I didn't like them. And so I would always make sure to let Taja know, like, hey, like, I don't like them, so please don't ever bring me around them, and don't bring them around me, because I simply don't like them. And she knew why I didn't like them, but she continuously hung out with them. And I think now moving forward, I feel like I've experienced enough to be able to have really good discernment when it comes to my friendships now, to the point where I'm able to really dead it very quickly if I am able to sense bullshit. Because for me, I've gotten to this point in life, you can call it childish, you can call it petty, but I'm not being close with anyone that is cool with people that I don't like. If someone has blatantly disrespected me or made me feel uncomfortable in any kind of way, and you still hang out with them, we are not friends. Now those rules do vary, because there are people that hang out with people that I'm not too close with just due to something really small, but I still am friends with the middleman, because once again, as long as the other party is not disrespecting me, then we cool. Like, I'm 110% willing to be cordial for the sake of my friend, but that wasn't the case with her. She knew that those people were consistently talking about me, and I should have known that she was joining in on those conversations, but I wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt. And that's my problem, because as you can see, I just keep giving this girl the benefit of the doubt. Too many benefits of the doubt. But it's okay, because I learned my lesson. Just hold on. I'm gonna introduce a new character. I don't even know what to name her. I'm gonna just name her Lego. She's really not relevant to the story. It's just this really small detail. So one day, Taja had called me, and she's basically like tweaking out. Like, she's in a position to where she clearly is feeling not safe. Taja, Lego, and one of her other friends, I guess they got into it with some girls, and when they got into it with these girls, eventually the girls was all on Facebook Live talking about they finna come jump her, like they finna come jump her. And by her, I don't mean Taja, I mean her friend Lego. Now, Taja is there with her friend Lego, and it's at the point where Taja is calling me. She's on my phone. She's like, I'm not gonna be here. Like, girl, your friend finna get jumped, and you calling me to come get you. I'm not coming to come get you. I'm not, because a real friend would not do that. I don't care what nobody says. As one of my closest friends, especially someone like herself who does not have many friends, the little friends that I do have, I'm gonna ride for them, okay? And the fact that she was not trying to ride for them, mind you, these have been her friends for quite some time, it told me a lot. I was like, ooh, you know what? I actually didn't like that. And so me and her, like, we going back and forth on the phone, and I'm basically telling her, I'm like, yeah, girl, like, I'm not coming to get you. Like, I'm sorry, but you gonna have to stick this one out on your own, because for one, them girls that they was beefing with, they was some rough girls. Baby, I did not grow up in the trenches, and I did not have those problems. So I'm so sorry, too bad, so sad, but y'all did that to yourselves. That don't have nothing to do with me. If it was one of my close friends and they told me that they was finna get jumped, I'm gonna pull up. I'm pulling up with something else they can say. And I ain't talking about no music. But am I willing to risk my life and go help somebody get jumped that has already talked so much mess on me? Hell no. Absolutely not. So I'm like, yeah, girl, like, I'm sorry, but you're just gonna have to call somebody else to come pick you up, because I'm not getting myself involved with that. I'm not pulling up and the next thing you know, I'm finna get jumped because somebody else is finna get jumped. Like, no. Them girls don't even like me. Why am I coming to come save somebody who don't even like me? Hell no. Eventually, after that situation, we fell out, and we didn't talk to each other for quite some time. I'm not gonna say I wasn't sad, because of course I really enjoyed talking to her. Like, this girl knows so much about me at this point. She has been there for me when I came out the closet. Like, I really felt like this was my friend. Girl, I lost my train of thought, but it's okay. I'm glad I got these notes helping me lead the way. Eventually, we stopped talking for quite some time. And, you know, like I said, it hurt, but girl, I got other shit to worry about. During our hiatus of us no longer speaking, Taja and Lena ended up dating. Now, remember I told y'all they were really close in middle school, so the fact that I found out that they were dating, it didn't surprise me not one bit. Here was the thing with Lena and Taja. Lena and Taja were very toxic, and I'm not talking toxic to the point where they break up and they get back together and they break, no, like Lena and Taja were so toxic to the point where they would break up, go back and forth on Facebook, tell everybody each other's business, and then get back together and then be laid up next to each other like this next week. You know, I'm not gonna lie and say I've never had no toxic relationship, because I definitely have had relationships where we're on and off, but I have never, by the grace of God, I have never had a relationship that has had me going back and forth with my significant other on Facebook. I feel like if you really love somebody, you're not going to embarrass them to that capacity. Like, you're just not. But that was them. That was their business. So eventually, me and a few of my homegirls, we decided we was gonna pull up to a basketball game. Now, at this basketball game, you know, we sitting, we chopping it up, we having a great time. Like, it's a typical game. Like, if you know me, you know I love a good basketball game. Okay, I'm 22 and I still go to basketball games. I love going to a good college game. You can almost always catch me at a K-State game. Okay, and I don't even go to school there no more. We at the basketball game, and all of a sudden I start getting hungry. Like, I'm like, oh, I need to go get me a snack. And it was about to be halftime, so I'm like, okay, cool. Like, it works out perfectly. So, girl, me and my friends, we end up going out to the concession stands. And as we're at the concession stands, while one of my homegirls had me on my shoulder, and she's like, Aaliyah, like, look to your left. I look to my left, and I see Lena and Taja hugged up. So I'm like, okay, cool. Around that time, Taja started trying to get back in my good graces. Like, she was starting to like swipe up on my stories and things like that. So it was just kind of odd. And that's kind of why my homegirls told me to look, because it's kind of like, girl, wasn't she just swiping up on yourself? Like, I just seen yo, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, okay. And after I seen that, I was like, oh, okay, bet. Like, girl, one thing about me, I will utilize that block button. I blocked Taja on everything, and I go on about my life. All this stuff took place my freshman, sophomore year of school. So now we gonna fast forward to my junior year of high school. This is when it gets messy. For those of you guys who don't know, my freshman year of high school, I started off at this public school, and my mom had me there for one semester and she hated it. She was looking at all the statistics of like SAT, ACT scores and things of the sort, and honestly she just felt like this school was just not a good environment for me. So she ended up having me take a placement test. She put me in a magnet school. I'm going to this magnet school for years now, and Lena and I happen to go to the same school. Now mind you, me and Lena are not in the same grade. Lena is a grade older than me, so I don't have any classes with her. I don't have, like, I will see her in passing, but of course I'm not speaking to her because, girl, like, I'm almost grown now, and I still have not forgot about the stuff that she was doing when we were in middle school. No, I wasn't being overly friendly. I didn't really speak to her, but I noticed that she was starting to become very friendly with me. I want to mention that Taja did not go to this school. At first, Taja did not know about a lot of the stuff that Lena was doing, and that is because Lena was very sneaky. Lena became really friendly out of nowhere. Like, I would see her around school, she would like speak, she would wave, but I never gave her the time of the day because, for one, she wasn't my type. Pretty girl. But looking back at a lot of the people that I was involved with when I was living in my hometown, a lot of them simply were not my type. They just were in close proximity to me. Very beautiful women, but I have to be real with myself. I had very easy access to them. This girl was just young and doing it, okay? I had to mention that because I would have never personally reached out to Lena. Ever. Like I said, beautiful girl, but not my type. So Lena found herself consistently swiping up on my stuff on Instagram. I mean, not on Instagram, on Snapchat. And it got to a point where eventually she had asked me to go to lunch with her. Mind you, we go to the same high school, so everybody has the same lunch period. So with us having the same lunch period, we have the opportunity to go places. You have the opportunity to leave campus during lunch. Me and Lena, we started having lunch dates. We started kicking it, like we was texting, like, you know, we was really getting to know each other. Like, we was really vibing. I'm not gonna lie to you, but one thing that I will say, I was very honest with Lena, and just due to the circumstances of me understanding what Lena had going on with her ex at the time, because mind you, her and her ex Taja were no longer together. I would always see them going back and forth on Facebook every other few weeks, and it's just a mess. At the time, I'm thinking I don't owe Taja no loyalty, like, we're not friends. At the end of the day, Lena owed her loyalty, not me, because me and Taja were not friends at the time. So you kind of like, it's still her girl, you on and off with her, but at the end of the day, like, that don't have nothing to do with me. Like, you came on to me, it's not the other way around. Me being so honest with her, I let her know, I was like, if we're gonna do this, like, we're gonna keep this very casual, very lustful, and that's just that. I'm not even gonna entertain you in that aspect. Although my intentions are very genuine with you, I think it's very important that I'm very honest with you and let you know that you're not someone that I'm going to be taking serious. And she said she understood that. So she starts bringing up topics that are very lustful. Mind you, I waited on her to make that first move just because I knew her situation with her ex. She know what it is, I know what it is. So one day she came over and she got cracked. That's it. That's literally all. So from there, like, the vibe didn't change. Like, we still was kicking it. Like, it was good vibes. But eventually I felt like she started to become a bit overbearing. And for me, I felt like ain't no way you becoming overbearing with me and you trying to control me when you got a bunch of mess going on. We agreed we was gonna keep this very casual. I just felt like she just wasn't being respectful of like my boundaries. It just got to a point where it's like, okay, clearly you're not keeping this casual, but you're kind of like stringing me along because you still talking to your ex. You starting to get your feelings involved. I don't want no parts. So we just kind of stopped talking. So boom, we stopped talking for a little bit, and then maybe like a month later, Taj spins the block on me. Now, you're probably like, how the hell did Taj even find you to spin the block on you if she been blocked on everything? Girl, she literally FaceTimed me from somebody else's phone and told me to unblock her. So I unblocked her. I did. I ain't gonna lie. I definitely did unblock her. We become cool again. So we chopping it up. Like, we texting, all this stuff like that. But this time, it's not just friendship. It's definitely more so one of those things where me and Taj, like, we were actively flirting with each other. But I do want to harp on the fact that she was flirting with me first. Eventually, oh, my legs, they starting to hurt. I had leg day yesterday and my legs are killing me. Eventually, we became cool all over again. And it's honestly one of those things where I didn't see much growth nor improvement from her. Now, she talked a really good game when she was on FaceTime, like kind of trying to get me to unblock her and all this stuff like that. But when we really sit back and actually analyze, she was not a changed person. She still had her same old ways. She still was very mean. She had a lot of hate built in her heart. And I say that because she always had a bunch of negative things to say, like about any and everyone. And it wasn't even just like random people. Like, it even got to a point where she found herself, like, I would be on live talking to my supporters and she would get to like being really mean and nitpicky towards some of them. Like, I remember someone had asked me a question about my height and that they had assumed that I was short, and like Taja had literally said something along the lines of like, she looked like she's 5, like, you know, just mean for no reason. And so it was kind of disappointing. I gave her the benefit of the doubt just because I knew she had a lot going on. And I know some people, when they have a lot going on, it's one of those things where they have a lot going on in their lives, and so they take it out on everyone else around them. And that's why I kept giving her the benefit of the doubt, because I knew her home life was very rough, but it didn't make it right. Like, when I'm sitting here editing, I'm literally in my zone. So, you know, I got the music playing in the background. Nonetheless, girl, I wanted to come on here and I wanted to say, I don't want y'all to think that I was just enabling, what did I name her? Taja. I was not enabling Taja to be mean at all. I actually checked her on quite a few occasions, but eventually it got so bad to the point where I literally told her, I was like, you know what? You can no longer be featured on my live function because you are not nice. You are not a kind person. And it kind of just felt like she was trying to sabotage me and my platform, because at the end of the day, let's be real, I felt like she knew that I did not need her on this platform, okay? I built this platform brick by brick on my own. Now, you know, I gotta give credit to my friends, my high school friends, you know, they're my people. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love you. My high school friends, like, a lot of them, they played a huge factor in like why my vlogs were so popular, because a lot of people wanted to see what it was like in high school, like what, you know what I'm saying? But, oh, and my mama. I gotta give a huge shout out to my mama, because my mama is such a main character in my testimony. But she, however, was not, okay? That girl did not matter whatsoever. That girl was actually trying to self-sabotage me to the point where she was going to make me lose subscribers. So I just told her, I was like, yeah, girl, you cannot be featured no longer on my live function, because the stuff that comes out of your mouth is absolutely insane. And at least if I had you in a vlog, I can go through and cipher through the footage and possibly edit out the parts where you're being absolutely ridiculous. But with live, that's not a possibility. Eventually, it got to a point where it was kind of like me and her, like, everybody knew we were hanging out. You seen one, you seen the other. Like, it's like we were inseparable almost. And so for me, I'm thinking like, yeah, this is my best. Like, we cool as, when in all actuality, this girl was plotting on me. Alright, so y'all remember me telling y'all at the beginning of this story that there was so much that I had to leave out the first go around when it came to this story, because I felt like it really wasn't that important. But now that I am
years down the line, I have talked about this situation with almost any and everybody in my life, and we all kind of came to the same conclusion that we feel like this is exactly why she did what she did. Now, remember a little while ago I told y'all that I cracked her ex, her girl, whatever, like they was on and off, so whatever you want to call it. So Taja would eventually make a comment to me basically stating like, yeah, why did Lena tell me that you tried to talk to her and all that stuff like that? And you know, a girl like me, I always got my screenshots on deck. Like at that point in time, I didn't even have Snapchat anymore, but I remembered that me and Lena, when we first started talking, like when she first started swiping up on my stuff, it was on Snapchat. So I literally re-downloaded Snapchat just so that I could go pull up those conversations so that I could show her like, actually, that's not what happened. So whole time, Lena was going back. When me and Lena stopped talking, remember, because I told y'all I stopped talking to her because she just was not respecting my boundaries. Clearly, she took it to heart because she ran that back to her ex and she tried to flip the script and make it seem like I came on to her and I was trying to talk to her, when in all actuality, it was the other way around. So Taja and me, like, we having this conversation. I'm showing her all the screenshots, but mind you, I never mentioned that I cracked old girl. I never mentioned that to her. I don't know. I guess I kind of just thought that she knew already, but she never stated that she did or didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like in her head, she kind of was just like trying to be messy, trying to see like what information she can get off me. But personally, no, I was not going to tell her that I cracked her ex-girlfriend, whatever. I wasn't going to tell her because she didn't ask. If she would have asked me at the point in time, yeah, I would have told her like, yeah, I did it. So what? But that wasn't the case. So in my mind, I'm just thinking she already knew. So no, I didn't tell her. So once we start having this conversation, we start going back and forth, and I'm starting to like basically show her all the screenshots of like how I kind of ended everything with Lena. Then that's when apparently it got back to Lena, and Lena ends up trying to like be very friendly, and I felt like Lena was doing this because she knew what she did was wrong. Lena would try to talk to me in school. Lena was trying to be overly besties with me at this point. Like she was always swiping up on my stuff, and honestly I just wasn't going for it because y'all, I'm not gonna lie, I'm one of those people, if you know you're wrong, leave me alone. Like don't try to talk to me. And especially at this given point in time, like after I had already started noticing like all this mess and chaos just for me having both of them in my life, it just was getting to a point where I was getting very easily irritable. So whole time now I'm getting mad. Like I'm really upset with Lena because Lena lied. And so Lena's trying to be extra friendly. I'm not going for it. And so eventually I end up blocking Lena on everything. But I forgot that I had Lena on Twitter. So Lena ends up texting me this long paragraph one day, basically stating how sorry she was and how she didn't say X, Y, and Z and how Taja was lying and all this stuff like that. Honestly, I didn't even want to hear it. I literally seen it, left her on red, and went about my day. Now, maybe a few days later, Lena texted me again on Twitter. And y'all probably like, well, what did Lena say? Lena had knew that I was getting ready to go on a trip because, you know, this was something I was very excited about. Like this is around the time where I was going to take my mom to, somewhere. It wasn't the Cancun trip, but it was somewhere else. So I've been talking about it, mind you, prior to us even falling out. So Lena had knew about it. And so one day she texted me on Twitter. She was like, where is that message at? Hold on, I'm finna go to my message. I'm finna go find it because, girl, I know I don't be tweaking. We finna go to December 2019. See, a girl like me, I always keep everything. I don't be playing around. So, December of 2019. Here we go. We're getting warmer. Okay, so I forgot to mention something very important. So this girl kept texting me. So on November, y'all see that? November 27th, 2019, she had texted me. And when she texted me, she sent me these photos it was photos of us that we both took together when we went on one of our dates. Mind you, we went on this date in October. So she's consistently texting me. I'm not giving in to her. And eventually, she texted me again on December 17th, and she said, hey, be safe driving and be careful. Girl, I sent her this long paragraph, and I basically said, in the rudest way possible, I'd appreciate it if you left me alone. I legit want nothing to do with you. You're disgusting as hell. You're sick as hell going around slandering my name the way you did, because I never did that to you. You can keep all that fake positive shit away from me, because you and I both know what you said it did. I have no respect for you whatsoever. Leave me alone. She followed that up with slandering your name, Aaliyah. Are you kidding me? ... And then sent paragraphs after paragraphs explaining how sorry she was and all that stuff like that. Girl, I don't care. I really don't want to hear it, because you went back and told your ex a completely different story as to what happened. And that is why I think it's so important that I include all of this into this story time. And I finally needed to incorporate Lena into the story time, because Lena was like a very key component in the story time. Now, lacing someone is never right. Like, I will never justify the fact that girl laced me ever, and I will never be friends with her ever again. But I do think that part of the reason why Taja did it was because she knew that I cracked her.
Around this time, I was really big on Snapchat. I used to use Snapchat all the time, and you know, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the yellow swipe app. It was basically where people can send anonymous things to you. Basically, you respond to them. So I would basically do like question and answers and things of the sort. I would always have people in my yellow swipes basically saying, like, this is what, oh, I'm gonna say her name. They'll be like, yeah, you know, Taja actually doesn't like you, and Taja said this about you, and you know, just all these mean things. And I'm like, damn, like, she wouldn't do no stuff like that. Like, there's no way, because you know, I know what it's like to have people lie on you. So for me, I don't just trust people that just say things. I didn't want to believe that, but eventually it's like, okay, well, if multiple people are saying this, it's kind of hard, man. A lot of people were saying, yes, she's using you. And so for me, I'm like, what is she using me for? Like, what do I have for her to use me? Like, but the whole time, y'all, you might think that you don't have nothing materialistic wise for people to use you, but some people will try to use you for your energy, for your aura, for the things that they cannot duplicate. And I didn't realize that at that point in time, but looking back on it, I'm able to realize that it could have just possibly been jealousy, just because I am who I am. I can confidently say that I can walk into a room and own it. I can walk into a room and know that my aura and my vibe cannot be duplicated. No matter how much materialistic items other people have, people can try to buy any and everything I have in this house, but at the end of the day, there's only going to be one me. Moving forward to December of that year, I was going to be having a Christmas party. Now, this Christmas party meant so much to me because this was going to be my first ever hosting event, and for me, I'm one of those people, I love celebrating in very intimate settings. So I like to celebrate my birthday with my friends and family. I like to celebrate my accomplishments with my friends and family. All of these big events are things that I like to celebrate with people that I genuinely love and care about. So this was an event that was very curated. I did not invite many people. I think the invite list was maybe about 10 or 11. And she kept hounding me about getting an invite. And I was a little iffy on giving her an invite because, for one, my mom did not like her. For two, she didn't really know any of my other friends, so I felt like it was gonna kind of be awkward. I feel like I'm able to be a social butterfly in settings where I don't really know people. You give me a shot or two, like, I feel like I'm able to mix and mingle, you know what I'm saying? But she was not like that. She was very standoffish, and just kind of like just mean for no reason. So getting to a point where, girl, she's literally begging for an invite. I'm not gonna lie, I did love her. So, you know, I gave her the opportunity to come, and she literally disappointed me. Like, it was such a bad experience. Like, mind you, I vlogged this entire experience. So when the vlog went up, there were so many people in my comments that were basically just reading her energy, and they were stating how much they did not enjoy her in this vlog and how they didn't want her to come back to this channel. Not only was it my supporters, but even my guests at the party texted me that night and just followed up with me to see like if I was okay, because they had realized that the energy was off. You know, they realized that, like, they were like, yeah, like, I don't know what it is about that girl, but like, something's off. Mind you, the entire time that we were having like this Christmas party, we were having all these games and food, and it was like a really good intimate experience. She was literally sitting in the corner on her phone. So yeah, girl, it was not a good look. Despite my friends and family not really liking her, I still went on.
I'm not even gonna lie, y'all. Back then, stuff like that didn't matter. I didn't care if my mom or if my parents in general or friends just didn't really like someone that I was dating. Even friends, certain friends that I had, like, I didn't care if my other people around me did not like them, because I felt like at the end of the day, this is my life. I get to choose who I want in this life, because I only get one to live. But I'm not gonna lie, I've gotten to that point in life where I actually do think it's very important that my friends and my family do somewhat like my significant other or my friends, because I feel like, you know, ultimately I want to create a great community. And I feel like just for my specific situations that I've been through, I have to really be cautious with people that I am bringing around me, because I feel like my friends and my family, they can always see through other people's BS way quicker than I can now. Give or take, now at this point in time in my life, I feel like my discernment is pretty much spot on. Like, I feel like I can always spot when someone does not have the best intentions for me. But back then, girl, I was just going with the wind, okay? Like, I wasn't listening to my mama, I wasn't listening to my daddy, I wasn't listening to my friends, I wasn't listening to my church friends. Like, I was just stubborn. That's it, that's all.
This Christmas party took place around the 18th or the 19th of December. A few days later, on the 24th, my grandfather had actually passed away. And so it was a really hard experience for me. I developed the habit of smoking a lot more during that point in time, and so she knew that. And so around that time, when, you know, I kind of did break it to her that that was something I was doing, she was so hell-bent on getting me to smoke with her. But I was like, like, I was a little iffy, I'm not gonna lie. Eventually, I was like, okay, you know what? Like, I'm getting ready to go to my grandpa's funeral, and I'm probably not gonna see you for quite a few days, so let's just go ahead and do it. So it was around New Year's, and the night of New Year's, which was the 30th, she had like said, yeah, like she's like, yeah, like, let's smoke, like, let's, you know what I'm saying? Like, but at that point in time, I was running some errands. So I told her, I was like, okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna pick you up. You can come run some errands with me. We can go run some errands. And then once I finish up my errands, the last place that I needed to go to was Target. So I told her, I was like, we can roll up in the parking lot of Target and then go inside, get some fresh air, get some snacks, and then from there we can go about our business. When it came to buying marriage hoochie, I did not know much about it. Like, I didn't know much, and I only say that because I never supplied my own marriage hoochie. When I first started smoking, it was with my high school group of friends, which did not include Taja. So friends, they actually started smoking before me, and shout out to y'all, because I still love y'all. Them still my friends to this day. I love y'all, my babies. But so when I was smoking with these people, like, they were more experienced than me, so they kind of already had their plug set in stone. So like, they are good people, so I knew I could trust them, and I never had to like second guess like their supply or anything like that, because like I said, they're more experienced. So, well, the plug that I did know, he wasn't in town at that point in time, so I was like, I don't really know no plugs right now, but if you do, like, I'll buy it. Some guy that she knew, girl, I don't know, she had me up in the hood. We went to his house. I'm like, okay, well, I'll go up to the door and get it. Like, I can get the sale myself, allegedly. And so she's like, no, just give me the money, I'll go get it. Just give me the money, I'll go get it. Cool. Excuse me. Give her the money. She goes and get it, but it wasn't a simple, oh, she went to the door and got it. No, she did not. She went inside of his house. So mind you, this is somebody that she knows. I don't know who this man is from Adam and Eve, okay? She go in the house, she in there for quite a little bit. Mind you, I'm sitting in the hood, okay? I barely got tints on my window, okay? It's looking kind of suspect over here. I'm not gonna lie to you. So she finally get back in her car, and then we start heading off to Target. So we heading off to Target, and she over there rolling up, but when she's rolling up, she's not rolling up one blunt. She's rolling up two. It's all cool, like, I'm not thinking nothing of it. So we get to Target, and it's time for us to spark up, and girl, like, I'm not gonna lie, I started feeling real funny. The best way to describe how I was feeling, it's like the car was off, but I was hearing the car engine running, and I couldn't get it out of my head, but I knew the car wasn't running. I'm like, am I tweaking? Like, what is going on? Like, I felt like I was like imagining things. We like 20-30 minutes in, I'm like, how you feeling over there? Like I'm good. Like, she perfectly fine. She over there operating as if ain't nothing going on. I'm like, okay, you know what? Like, I cannot drive us back home. Like, a matter of fact, I can't even get out this car right now to go inside the Target. That's how embarrassed I am. Like, let's get an Uber and Uber back to my house. Uber my mama or one of my friends back out here to come and get this taken care of. Like, I'll have him like come pick up my car. And this girl's insisting, oh, I'll drive us to where we need to get to. Like, she's so hell-bent on driving my car to take us to where we need to get to. Like, no, I'm sorry, I just did not trust her enough to be driving my car. And I know this is gonna sound crazy, because it's like, okay, well, Aaliyah, how you not gonna trust her to drive your car, but you was letting her stay with you? Okay, this is a story time and a mini story time, but long story short, I really hate to bring this up, but I think this is something that is very important. Taja and her mom, I don't know what happened specifically, but her and her mom got into it so bad to the point where her mom kicked her out. I was the only one who came to her rescue. And so I think I took this situation so personal because of that. Wouldn't think that you would take someone into your home and they would do something like that to you. So for me, when all this stuff is happening, I'm not thinking like she laced me. I'm not. Like, I'm just thinking we got a bad batch, or maybe I'm just a lightweight, you know, maybe this is a different strain. I don't know. I ended up Ubering us back to my mom's house, and I couldn't even walk in the house without my mama stopping us at the door. My mama, she was not playing that shit. I've never heard my mama cuss as much ever in her life. Like, my mama, she's basically like, what is going on? Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what did you do to my daughter? Like, my mama is instantly blaming her because, for one, as I stated, my mama already did not like her. My mom has always told me that she had a very bad vibe about this girl, but I didn't want to listen. And so for my mom to even take her into our home, knowing that she didn't like this girl, the Christian woman that she is, still wanting to help this girl out just based off the strength of not wanting to see her on the streets, but this also being someone that I claimed as my friend, it says a lot about her character. At this point, like, Taja is acting so uninterested. Like, my mom's talking to her, she's really not talking back to her. Like, she's just like in her phone, acting uninterested. And honestly, it's giving like she was kind of pissy that she couldn't get a hold of my car. Who knows what would have happened if I would have let her drive my car? Like, would she have pushed me out on the side of the road? I don't know. And my mom, she told her immediately, like, my mama was not playing. She was like, girl, pack your bags. I'm finna take you back to your mama's house. I'm not playing with you. Like, you gotta get out my house. Like, I've let you slide so many times, but at this point, you gotta go. Mind you, my mama, she literally carried me. She took me to my bed because I was having a hard time walking. I was literally stumbling. And as I'm like on my bed, I'm like foaming out the mouth. It's really bad to the point where like I don't know what is going on with me, but it's kind of like I felt the light flash before my eyes almost. I'm still not thinking that this girl did it, but my mama ended up taking her home, and my mama told her mama basically everything. Like, my mama was telling her everything she knew. Mama, mind you, my mama didn't really know everything that was going on, but my mama did say like, hey, I don't know what you got going on, but your daughter can't stay here no more. That next day, I woke up. I was feeling a little lightheaded, but all good, don't worry. And that's when I had contacted a few of my friends, and I wanted them to go pick up my car. But I chose them to go get my car because, for one, I left my keys in the car. I wanted them to go get my car because I wanted them to take it to the local lab to get it tested. And once the lab test results came back days later, they did find a bit of cocaine. Now, I know you're probably like, well, how did they even have the opportunity to test it? I used to keep the Dutch wrappers in my car, so I literally took the rest of the blunt. Before I left my car that night, I literally stuck the rest of that blunt into that little Dutch baggie. There was no way I was finna act like nothing ever happened. Absolutely not. The next day, I ended up sending her this long paragraph, basically just explaining that I was so sorry that my mom took her home. And like, I don't know what happened last night, but I really do feel like we were laced. And she kind of just ignored everything that I was saying. And she went directly into the fact that I basically left her for dead because her mama kicked her out and she didn't have really no place to go at this point in time. Girl, at this point in time, it gets to a point where we really are not texting. Once I got those lab results back, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really trust her as much. And even after the situation had happened, she still was texting me. Like, every now and then she was trying to make jokes with me. And I personally didn't think we was cool. Like, I'm sorry, but no. Like, I don't really want to talk to you. You literally laced me. Sorry. But the thing is, I didn't tell anyone except for my close friends. But I knew my close friend group, they were not gonna go tell the world. Like, my friends are not Facebook warriors, okay? My friends have a lot to lose, okay? They're not going back and forth on Facebook every other day. They're not. Months go on, I'm talking to my little cousin, and I'm saying little cousin, but she's not my little cousin. I grew up very heavily in the church. The younger kids, like, them is my babies. I got so many little cousins, just, and they're not even my real cousins, but we grew up in the same church, and I feel like I just took them up under my wing because them is my babies. Like, we grew up together. So my little cousin plays sports for Taja's school. Now, I'm not trying to have y'all here all night, but to basically sum it up, we went to a magnet school. Our school did not have any sports. We didn't have the funding for sports. All of our funding went directly towards education purposes. With us going to that magnet school, we had the opportunity to go play sports for other schools. So after school, if you played sports, they had different buses that went to North High School, West High School. My little cousin happened to play for the school that Taja went to. Like, we were having a conversation and it just came up. She's like, yeah, girl, why did I hear from some girl that Taja's friends with that you laced her? I know you are lying. Ain't no way you sitting here going around telling people I laced you when it was the other way around. I'm not gonna let that slide because that's something like that you don't play with. And for me, I felt like I was damn near on my deathbed. So ain't no way you gonna take a situation that I experienced so much trauma from and try to get ahead of the narrative to try to make it seem like I laced you. What do you... I ended up hitting her up. I was just straight up. I asked her, I was like, so I laced you? She was like, hey, you're the one who paid for the marriage of Hoochie. And I didn't say that you laced me. I said that we were laced. That's not what I heard. I was like, don't try to play with my character because all that I had was straight love for you. Honestly, I checked on you even after I felt sick to my stomach. For somebody who was laced, I'm talking about her, you sure were acting pretty damn fine compared to me. You don't proceed to hit up somebody for a conversation like you did if they laced you. You don't have shit that I want. You're an attention seeker and a liar.
I literally hate that the last portion of this video kind of got chopped and screwed. I don't know what's going on with the footage, but either way, I cannot reference it. So here I am, but it's really no big deal because it was only like 5 or 6 minutes anyways. Like, literally, I wasn't really talking about nothing. Like, after all this situation happened, like after I sent her that message, she followed that up with a very lengthy message, basically just calling me everything but a child of God. Mind you, she never mentioned anything about the lacing. Like, mind you, if somebody laced you, you would think that the first thing they would do is consistently attack the topic of the fact that they were laced. No, she didn't do that. And I know why she didn't do it, because she know I didn't lace her. Like, girl, that made absolutely no sense. Nonetheless, she started calling me everything but a child of God. And then that's when she kind of was like harassing me. That's kind of how it felt. And so it kind of got to the point where I blocked her, didn't talk to her ever again moving forward. But one day I was on Instagram Live, and as I was Instagram Live, I was basically giving you guys a little mini story time about this situation. Now, when I was giving you guys that mini story time, this girl literally hops her clout chasing behind on the live and starts commenting back to back to back. But literally one of the first things like she starts spamming is, everybody go follow my Snapchat, everybody go add my Snapchat, everybody go add me. Like, girl, you were a clout chaser. You did not have good intentions when it came to me from the beginning. And it's kind of sad, but you know what? It happens. Nonetheless, after this entire situation of us going back and forth on Facebook Live, not Facebook Live, Instagram Live, girl, I do not have a Facebook. So if y'all see a Facebook page out there with my face on it, child, report. Because it ain't me. But after we went back and forth on Instagram Live, I really did not hear from her. Like, after that, now, every now and then I would see like she would try to make subliminal posts about me on Facebook, but honestly, I didn't really care. Like, I feel like I have made it to this point in my life where I don't use Facebook, so I really don't care what be going on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but what I will say is that God definitely does not like ugly. And as much as I wanted to get back at her for what she did to me, no matter how much denial she lives in, she's the one who has to live with it. And she and I both know what happened. And although I did say some very mean things, and I did fuck her bitch. Technically, they wasn't together, y'all. Please don't think I'm a homewrecker, because I'm not a homewrecker. They were not together. Like, I get it. She was probably mad. Damn, bro. Like, I don't know, because I be getting mad about my little shit too. Like, I get it, but like, I never go to the extent where I would befriend the person and then lace them. Like, that's absolutely insane. Like, I never do no crazy stuff like that. Like, people get laced, and some people are not able to come back from that. Like, some people, like, they have brain damage for the rest of their life. You know what I'm saying? So, excuse me, girl. I don't know. I just let God handle it after that. But you know the craziest thing, I never seen her ever again. I ain't tripping. I done forgave her, so yeah, it happened. But it is a great story time, and I'm so glad I could tell y'all the story time today. But better yet, I'm so glad I could finally tell y'all the real reason behind all this stuff, because I feel like it was so much stuff that was missing from that story time previously, but I just couldn't tell y'all. Like, I couldn't tell y'all because part of me was wanting to protect Lena, because Lena was still in my ear, making it seem like she was on my side and all this stuff. Like, that whole time, that girl was playing both sides. So here I am today telling y'all the full story, okay? Anyways, I love y'all, and I hope that you all enjoyed this. Hi, Vivi. I hope that you all enjoyed this video, because I enjoyed making it, and hopefully I'll see all of you in my next video.